Welcome to Detroit in the fourth straight night of primetime coverage of the PBA on FS1. Tonight, from the sold-out Thunderbowl Lanes, we present the third major of the season. Here now your 5 finalists looking to win one of the most prestigious titles in the game, and what a win it would be for BJ Moore, your 5 seed, who's never lifted PBA hardware. Jakob Butturff, he goes for major title #1. Bill O'Neill won his 10th career title earlier this season. Your 2 seed, Matt McNeil, has never won on the tour, but your #1 seed, Jason Belmonte, has twice already this season and 20 times for his career. And 2 of the 5 tonight have the chance to earn a $1 million payday should someone in our title game bowl a 300 game. Fox and the PBA will hand over a $1 million bonus check, as if enough wasn't already on the line tonight. Glad you're with us. Rob Stone, the Hall of Famer, Randy Peterson. When tennis or golf or bowling contests a major, it's got a different vibe out there. The blood pressure gets elevated. The challenge is much stronger. The payday bigger. The prestige and the payoff certainly greater as well. And in bowling, nobody has done better when competing in a major than the man who's the best bowler on the planet right now, the Australian Jason Belmonte.
Yeah, you're right, Rob. Never has a player ever led 3 consecutive majors in a season on the PBA Tour, but Belmonte has. I mean, this guy not only led, he lapped the field in those 3 events. But look at this major career title list that he joins. Look at these names: Earl, Pete, Mike, Walter Ray, Norm. The best the game has ever seen, and he's part of that list. Earlier this season, at our first major, Jason captured major number 10, winning the Tournament of Champions at Riviera. He took down E.J. Tackett in the title match. The very next week at the Players' Championship, the 710 was the only thing that could stop him from winning major title number 11. This guy is so good in majors, and tonight he's 1 win away from major immortality. And oh, by the way, he's the defending champ.
Yep, we've seen history from him already this season. More very well could be in store. Here's Belmo standing by with our Kimberly Pressler.
Thanks, Rob. So, Jason, you've already hit a milestone this week, winning your 20th PBA Tour title. But is there any additional pressure knowing that you're just 1 win away from becoming the player who's won the most majors ever in PBA history?
Honestly, Kimberly, every time I put my feet on these approaches, you know, you feel pressure, you feel nervous. So I'm kind of just going to enjoy the moment, hopefully put on a really good show, because there's a few special people watching. I'd like to make a really quick shout out to all the kids at Nashdale Public School, the school that my children go to. They've put up a big screen so my kids don't have to not go to school and watch. They can actually watch and learn at the same time. So hi, Aria, Hugo, Sylvie, and everyone else at Nashdale.
Awesome. Congratulations. We will see you in the finals. Hi, guys.
Cheers.
Long distance hello from Detroit to Australia. Take a look at the format for your 3rd major of the season, Randy, the PBA World Championship. The field size started at 135. We're down to 5.
30 games of qualifying, 3 different oil patterns, 16 games of match play on this oil pattern, the Earl Anthony oil pattern, 43 feet in length. The players on the right side of the lane are going to go fairly straight right around 2nd arrow. The left-handers, they're going to play way outside. That first arrow, look for that to come into play, as those lefties will be right around in that area there. And as the lanes break down in transition, both left and right, they'll chase it towards the center part of the lane where the heaviest concentration of oil lives.
All right, we ready, bud?
I'm ready, man. I'm psyched for this.
4 versus 5. There's your 5 seed, BJ Moore. Now resides in Greensburg, Pennsylvania, just east of Pittsburgh. Has never won on the tour, but almost did Wednesday night. Finished 2nd in the Scorpion Championship.
Yeah, BJ Moore had a great shot at winning his first title last night, and I think it was a poor decision on his part to finish on that left lane, the lane he just started with a strike on.
Jakob Butturff. Watch this approach and release, guys. Unique, and it pays off. We open up with a pair of strikes as we look at our stepladder final. Moore versus Butturff, the winner to take on Bill O'Neill, who's having a wonderful campaign. Matt McNeil made his television debut just a couple of nights ago, and here he is as your 2 seed for a major. And of course, your 1 seed, Jason Belmonte, hunting history and looking for that 11th major title.
Got a little fast and fell off of that one, Rob, and got it a little high into the pocket, leaving the 6-pin. The unusual but extremely effective style of Jakob Butturff. You know, his last 5 shows dating back to November 2017 leading up to this telecast, he's finished either first or second.
Brings that one up. They had an electric start to the campaign as well. Saw him on multiple TV shows.
All right, good shot.
Yeah.
And here's BJ Moore. See what he's done this week.
I talked to his tour rep earlier, Tim Mack, who said when BJ gets out here full-time and bowls competitively full-time, he's going to win and win a lot.
Right of target.
1-2-4-8 double wood.
He's 30 years old. This is his 9th year on the tour. He's had a lot going on in his life as of late. Chief of which, Irish twins entering the household.
Yeah, that'll take some time. That'll take up some of your time.
Mental time and physical time.
Look out.
Open frame in the second.
Mistake.
What was the mistake?
Well, he went with a spare ball, which goes really straight, and then he missed right of target again. Takes out the 1-2-4 and never gets the 8-pin.
See his career numbers on television, just 1 win. Let's see how he responds from that open frame here. Pretty good response.
And as we've seen throughout the week here at the World Series of Bowling, the left lane starts out pretty good, and as the right-handers break it down, it just starts to get uglier and uglier. 12-4 match play record for Jakob Butturff this week, which got him to the show.
Strike for Jakob. Talked about his strong start to the season. After 2 consecutive losses as the 1 seed, Butturff finally able to seal the deal as the 1 seed back at the 2019 PBA Oklahoma Open. Took care of Jesper Svensson, 267-201. Earned his 5th career PBA Tour title.
He actually made a big change in that title match where he was throwing urethane on the right lane and reactive resin on the left. There's one thing we know about Butter is he can throw a lot of strikes. You fall behind early to him, you're in trouble. If he's lined up and he's hitting the pocket, you better not give him any room. BJ Moore going with physics.
The tour reps you spoke with, Randy, mentioning the tremendous upside of BJ Moore, who has essentially just kind of dabbled on the PBA Tour. It's been more and more full-time, right? And
Agreed.
you know, it got me thinking, you know, he's a bit of a modern-day bowling natural. He's got some Roy Hobbs in him, kind of getting a late start into things. And we've watched him throughout this week, and he's impressed. He pops at you. Good-looking kid. He's got a strong game. Get those reps out here and take care of some of those mental mistakes. Tell you what, Wonder Boy's got a future out here.
Yeah, well, now it's the progression, the natural progression that all players go through out here. He knows how to get to the shows. Now he has to figure out how to win on television.
do you think's tougher, getting to the shows or winning on television?
It's all hard. I mean, the talent pool is so deep on today's tour that it's extremely difficult to get to the telecasts.
Last night he was runner-up to Chris Prather. It's back on the strike train, and he needed that desperately. He already has 2 open frames. Can't afford to give Butturff any more openings as he walks over to talk to his tour reps.
Yeah, those weren't even close to me. Yeah.
We all agree.
Yeah.
If it's going to be that hard, it's going to be straight.
Well, they're saying if it's going to be that hard, it's got to be straighter, and they're talking about his last 2 shots on the right lane. Purple hammered urethane for Jakey as he drops a 3-bagger. And I'm being told he's using 2 different purple hammers, 2 different layouts, for 1 for each lane.
Just talking about the early success to us of this season. The expectations got a little elevated going into Lubbock, Texas. Put too much pressure on myself, he told us. Looking back, you know, I needed to back off a little bit. Mentally, he was beat up. And you get the sense he's recharged right now, reinvigorated as he drops a ham bone here at a major.
Look at that wrist. Is that ridiculous?
Defies everything I know about bowling. Butturff with strikes in 5 of his first 6 frames.
Everyone.
Other finishers, the Candyman in 10th. Norm Duke, who's going to join us live in our next segment, finished in 11th. Barney, who was with us last night in 12th. Rhino Page.
Last night's winner, Chris Prather.
You'll see Anthony Simonson tomorrow night in USA versus the World, 8 Eastern here on FS1. Back to live action. Your 5 seed, BJ Moore, is up right now. The trend has not been good. Strike, open frame. Strike, open frame. Strike. He cannot afford to let that trend continue right now.
Yeah, he's looking for his first mark on this right lane, and he's gone light. Both shots on the right. Well, if he doesn't make the 210, it'll be 3 opens in a row on the right lane.
And it's the left lane that's been harassing people all week.
Not early, though. It was actually as the lane started to transition and break down that the left lane got real ugly. But right now, BJ Moore struggling on the good lane, or at least the right lane that's been pretty consistent throughout this year's World Series. Come on, BJ, slide it over.
66 pin hole in match 1.
Take a look here with our technique at BJ Moore's beautiful style. You want to talk about effortless power? Well, this guy's got it. Look at that position at the top of the swing. Look at that beautiful arm swing. Shoulders wide open. Now watch this. This is how you create power. We talk about it each and every week out here. Look at the bend in the elbow and the cup in the wrist.
95% of the time, the 10 pin taken care of in the single pin conversion. Moore needs some serious help right now if he's to move on.
He's probably not going to get any from Jakob Butturff.
Come on, BJ.
What this guy can do with his wrist is just incredible. Yep. I asked him, hey, have you made any changes in your game the last month or so? And he said, well, I'm just trying to stay under the ball more, just trying to roll it more. Here's our left-right comparison. Butturff, the blue ball, BJ Moore, the red one. Look how straight both players are going through the front part of the lane. right, 9 spare works. He just needs to stay upright to advance to the next match.
How much is that next match in his mind at this point right now in the 8th frame, would you think?
It's in his mind, but right now his focus is on making sure he doesn't lose the pocket.
Throws that one in for a spare.
A lot of times when players are this far ahead, they'll start experimenting a little bit. They may move a little bit left, a little bit right to see just how much room they can create and what they can get away with.
With a 75-pin advantage, you have to feel pretty comfortable that you're moving on at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, B.J. Moore's max score is 194, and that's if he strikes out.
Yeah.
And Jakob is already in the 230s.
We talked about so much going on in BJ's life. He moved a couple years ago. Wife just had their 2nd kid, and they took over the family restaurant. There it is, Falbo's Restaurant and Lounge in Latrobe, PA. Let me tell you something. Falbo's, I'm talking to you right now. Put aside a bucket right now for BJ. He's going to need it when he gets home. And you better have FS1 up on all of your monitors.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm coming down to Latrobe, and I'm going to bring my friends from Rolling Rock, and we're going to cause some, stir it up, man.
I'll be right there with you.
I know you will. So will Mike Edwards. There you go. Look, he's having a bad night. We understand, and it's a bad time to have a bad night. But this kid has shown us a lot on the tour this week alone. Get used to that face. You're going to see a lot more of him on the tour.
Listen, I'm a huge B.J. Moore fan, and I think there's great things in his future down the road.
We've got more from the World Series of Bowling coming your way tomorrow night. Randy, you ready for this one?
I am.
The World versus the USA, 3rd edition. USA has never fallen to the World. Jason Belmonte, part of the World team, coming your way tomorrow night here on FS1 at 8 Eastern. But with another spare, he remains clean. Has he, in your eyes, lost the pocket at all or seen anything that gives you alarm for the next match?
He hasn't lost the pocket, but the last 2 shots both went high.
So Butturff is already through. Just a matter of finishing things up here in the 10th. So Butturff will take on Bill O'Neill. And Norm Duke is going to join us live in a moment. Norm's going to join us in the booth as well to call match number 2. What a season Norm Duke has had.
Incredible.
Butturff hammers that one into the pit again.
Holy ball, brother. Absolutely. You keep it up.
Just wait for the final numbers here on Butturff. Last toss. It's 9.
Finish big, BJ.
Yeah, there you go, kid.
Boy.
Let's get 2 more.
Not only is he super talented, he's got a wonderful family. His wife's he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever talk to.
Come on, 10-pin.
I do have one small concern, though, heading into the next match.
Go on.
You want to hear about it?
I do.
Jakob Butturff's last 4 shots, he went 6-pin, 6-pin, flat 7, flat 7.
Sir, keep it up, man. Keep it up, brother. Absolutely.
53-pin win. Up next, your 3 seed, Bill O'Neill. The real deal, set to hit the hardwood next on FS1. Norm Duke,
Yes,
with
baby!
you as we look at our updated stepladder bracket. Butturff Easily rolled past BJ Moore. Matt McNeil waiting for the semifinal. Jason Belmonte, your one seed. Remember, $1 million bonus is floating out there should somebody drop a perfect game in our championship match. Here comes Bill O'Neill. Billy O won the first tournament of the season and has really kind of kept that momentum going. Had a really strong week here at the World Series of Bowling. And he goes for his 11th tour title tonight.
A great start for Bill O'Neill, the only player to make the cut in all 3 animal patterns here at the World Series of Bowling this year. What do you see with Bill O'Neill, and what do you think the biggest difference is this season, Norm?
I just think he's matured into one of the greatest players right now, currently. He also rooms with Jason Belmonte, so he learns all the little tricks.
Butturff on the right lane. And it looks like, and Norm, you were talking about this off camera during the commercial, the right lane is the one that's going to start giving these guys problems earlier than the left lane.
Right, and we've been watching this for 3 nights. It's been the left lane that's been killing everybody with a really tight down lane. They can't get their ball rolling through the pins. It's the right lane today.
And an open frame.
Wow. Before we go to break, I said, hey, Rob, I have a bit of a concern. He goes, what's that? I said, Jacob's last 4 shots, 6-pin, 6-pin, week 7. After that 5-bagger.
Yeah, and it seems like every time he gets the ball to the area that will hook back for him and get hit, it overhooks. Now he looks at his 6-pin. As soon as he cheats right just a little bit, ball doesn't hook as much as he's expecting.
Norm, week 7.
Yeah, there's just so much oil down lane, especially since a lot of the players have been using urethane, which carries oil down quicker. And it just holds there in what we call memory, Randy. Every day it gets slicker and slicker on the back end, harder and harder to knock the corners out.
I missed the one on TV this week, guys.
I didn't want to bring it up. I thought about it, but I didn't want to bring it up in a major.
Shocker.
I'm better than that.
I mean,
He goes right to the tour reps.
Or at least
You all right with that one, Randy?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with his start. I just love his game. It's old school with power, Norm.
It's old school with power, and he's got such a great middle game to go to it. Listen, he's playing around 10-11 board on that right lane and still having a hard time getting the ball to roll into the pins. That will tell you.
At the PBA Hall of Fame Classic, guys, O'Neill had to win 3 games to capture the title in the semis. What did he do? He dismantled that man, Jason Belmonte, 268 to 186. And in the final, it was Jakob Butturff who failed to convert the 4-7 in the 9th. Opened the door and allowed Billy O'Neill to walk away with the title. And you see how much it meant to him. So important to start your season on a positive note as well. And Bill started the World Series of Bowling on a positive note, making cut after cut after cut, gets another strike. Here's what he's done at the World Series of Bowling. 8th at the Cheetah, 10th at the Chameleon, 3rd last night at the Scorpion.
Nobody's bowled more games this week at the World Series than Bill O'Neill. That number right at 80.
Frame spare strike for Butturff.
All right, that's better. Gets it into that swisher zone, Norm.
Yeah, he kept it right of the friction that's down lane that gets his ball high every once in a while. Kept it right of it. Just laid there. No problem with the 7-pin because it's just a little lighter than the one before.
Nice. All right, so the adjustment's been made. He doubles up after an open in the first.
I just don't see either of these players having a hard time getting in the pocket. The big thing is for Bill O'Neill to get the 10-pin out, for Jakob Butturff to get the 7-pin out.
Bill O'Neill going with the chaos, trying to create chaos.
10 pin to 5, and then gets dropped.
7, 10, nothing.
When it's the hardest pin to knock over and it's the last one that goes down as a player, you're like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Look at that.
Oh, the 7 gave a nudge.
Oh, yeah.
And sent another on its way to drop the 10.
Yeah, a little encouragement.
Little pile-on.
Game tackle. So O'Neill remains clean. 3 strikes in his first 4 frames, up 11. We start the 5th.
Oh, this is such an easy shot to overjack when you get that kind of break. You come over, you got to settle down a little bit. It's hard to do.
Yep.
Terrible shot.
Yep, I agree. And well done. I've got a question for Norm. 43-foot pattern, Norm. Why does it play so slick?
Well, it plays so slick because there's only about another, 14 feet before it hits the head pin. So as that oil carries down, it gets closer and closer to the head pin. You cannot get your bowling ball to react down there, so therefore you get less hook. The thing about this pattern, though, Randy, is it's lower volume. So every shot these players are throwing down the lane is changing them more than usual.
That's 3 in a row after a rough start for Butturff. Remember, in the first, an open frame, then a 9 spare. Since then, nothing but strikes.
This has been kind of a feast or famine roller coaster for Jakob, as he had that 5-bagger early the last game, then lost it. 3 consecutive weak 10s on the left lane, and now he's back in action again with a 3-bagger.
Yeah, and this is his MO. I mean, he's either feast or famine his whole life in bowling. A lot of feast.
Week 7.
All right, just grab it a little.
Oh, you heard what he said there, folks? He said grab it a little bit more. He wants to get more on it, Rob.
Yeah, most coaches will tell you don't grab it. He's saying, hey, I want to grab it a little bit more.
Another solid single pin conversion, though, from Butturff. Things all even here in our second match. 3-seed Bill O'Neill, 4-seed Jakob Butturff, Jason Belmonte, your 1-seed. We'll wrap up match 2 next, live on FS1.
I think the big thing is both of the players are playing the lanes exactly the same as far as the difference. Both players about 4 boards inside with their feet on the left lane. They're going more direct on the right lane, trying to get their ball to hold pocket instead of recover to it.
That's the voice of Norm Duke, one of 2 PBA Hall of Famers in the booth with us. Randy Peterson, Rob Stone, Kimberly Pressler downstairs. Bill O'Neill leads the 10, and that was a concern of yours, Norm, coming into this one. Bill had to take care of the 10.
Yeah, and he can't make a better shot than that. I mean, he's playing laid left on that lane. He got it left. It laid there. It just overlaid. Nothing there to hit the 10 pin.
He's using a ball with a lot of surface, too.
A lot of ball he's got in his hand.
He's using a pretty big bowling ball. And again, that goes back to that question I asked you. You know, this 43-foot pattern's playing pretty slick.
Very.
Soft hair.
There's Dad Bill.
Yeah, he's got a good seat, doesn't he? Some nice company Bill O'Neill's got there as he watches his son. And the good news about Dad, he's going to pack up the bags. He's going to stay with his son as they head to Vegas for the Masters next week. Live coverage of our championship. April 1st, Monday, April 1st. No joking, Randy. You're going to show up. You're going to be there, right?
I'll be there. Shots. Come on. He said the trick is to spin it just a little bit, Norm, and that's the trick that he used to get him to the telecast tonight.
Well, when you're having to play over and over right on top of your old lines, you've got to spin it a little bit or it'll check early and you have nothing left when it gets into the pins.
That's a great point.
Off the spare. Butturff is going to look for another spare.
looked to me like he got that one wide.
I think it just went wide. He missed it at the bottom, so it didn't hook early enough to keep it on line. It just kept sailing. It's kind of hard to tell. When I watch Jakob, you know, there's a lot of moving parts there that kind of take my eye from his ball.
Those feet move awfully fast, don't they?
Well, he's a fidgeter by nature, too.
Yes.
And he'll admit that as he covers that one. You know, when the fidget spinner was out, he was spinning that sucker. He had the other toy a couple weeks ago, and he admits, you know, this is his game. He likes to move around. He likes to pace. He has the odd entries. He comes up to the foul line. But whatever he's doing has been working. He's down just 1 pin as we start the 8th.
That is a good match here.
Yeah, you can tell both players like that left lane a little more than the right lane.
Well, then you tell me why O'Neal chose to finish on the right lane.
It has to be that he wanted to finish last. It just has to be. I can't imagine any other variable.
Trying to string together his second pair.
He loves it.
Boy, he put a good touch on that shot. That was beautiful.
He could have left the ring in 10 even with such a great shot. I tell you what, he's lacing them.
He's acing it.
Yeah.
Beautiful shot here. A little bit of the bend in the wrist and elbow. Doesn't hurt when you have some pythons for biceps either. Strong kid.
Takes the lead.
And this sets up this match, this 9th frame, Norm.
9th and 10th is everything. They're both on the strike.
Three in a row. You think he liked that one when it left his hand? What a magnificent shot that was.
Yep.
You don't see the emotional outbursts often from Billy O, but when you do, it's warranted.
He almost looks bored at times through match play until that one critical shot.
The last shot we saw Jakob throw was absolutely aced.
A double at a perfect time.
Boy, that was pretty good too.
Imagine.
Now, max score for Jakob Butturff, 236. Max score Bill O'Neal, 247. It's going to come down to who does what here in the 10th frame. This has been his flat 7 lane. Not that time. Yeah, great shot here by Jakey. And this is just a full rack attack by Butturff.
He does not look awed by this moment and the pressure that's hanging over him. 10th frame of a major, match number 2, taking on a vet, trying to reclaim the lead.
That forces O'Neal to match those 2 strikes if Butturff strikes on the fill shot.
Yeah, he got a handful of this one, got a little bit too long down lane, but got the break he needed. And that's what he needed to do, is show up, make Bill O'Neal earn this thing.
Yeah, we also have a really good possibility of a tie. Likes it. Now that changes things just enough. O'Neal can go strike 9 spare and win by 1.
Yes.
If he goes strike 8 spare, we have a tie. If O'Neal does not strike first ball right here, he loses. Butturff advances.
Must have it. And he's denied.
Butturff advances to the semi-final.
Like a half a board to the right, Norm.
Yeah, and I couldn't tell a bit of difference between that one and the last one he's thrown in that lane. I'll tell you what, both players had the same, obstacle in front of them. A 7-pin on the left lane for one, a 10-pin on the right lane for the other.
Boy, it looked like it was just a half an inch right of target. And it got into that flat 10 zone.
Well, off his hand, I guarantee you he'd do it again. Just like that, he'd do it again.
Oh.
Painful.
Yep.
Painful if you're from the O'Neill camp. Elation if you're from the Butturff group. Billy O finishes with a strike right there. Done with a 226. Norm Duke, happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Enjoy your birthday celebration. We look forward to seeing you in Las Vegas,
I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Thanks for having me in the booth, guys. Y'all enjoy this title match.
I'll see you back home in Orlando.
We're not quite at our title match, but we're closing in on it. Your 2-seed, Matt McNeil versus Jakob Butturff in your semis of the third major next.
Thanks, Rob. So, Bill, you had a clean match, but that was a heartbreaking loss at the end there. It looked good, but how did it feel to you?
I bowled a really good game. It's actually pretty frustrating to not come out with the win there. I mean, Jakob bowled a good game, too. I thought I threw the 1 in the 10th pretty good. It might have been a pinch further right than I would have hoped for, but it just shows you how little margin for error I actually had out there.
Well, you have had a great World Series so far, so how has this week been so far?
I mean, the week's been great. I bowled great all week. I made a couple of shows. And two days in a row, I ended up picking the wrong lane to finish on. I got faked out in practice again. I had it really good on the right lane, and then I just couldn't get the ball to go through the pins right.
So you looking ahead at the Masters for next week?
I'm going to go home and hang out with my wife and kids for a couple days, and then we'll think about bowling in a few days.
That is a great plan. Thank you so much for taking the time.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Kimberly. Here's tonight's Ebonite flashback. A magical moment for Tom Smallwood, 09. The first PBA World Series of bowling in the World Championship at North Rock Lanes in Wichita. Smallwood strung together 4 consecutive strikes. Frames 3 through 6, numerous strikes down the stretch, including his first 2 in the 10th to win his first title. And he did it in major fashion by defeating Wes Malott 244-228.
And one of the best feel-good stories ever.
Wasn't it?
Yep.
Well, looking for a potential feel-good story tonight as well. We could have a first-time winner on the tour. We also could have history. Jason Belmonte, your #1 seed, waiting to find out who he's going to meet in the title match as he goes for his 11th major. Nobody will have ever won more majors in bowling history. From what we've seen so far, what stuck out to you?
Well, the right side of the lane looks good. The right lane on the right side for the righties looks like it might be a little bit slicker, not that big a deal. The question mark is going to be this next match, and Jakob is using urethane, and what urethane does is because the surface is so rough, it dries the front part of the lane up, and then it drags oil down towards the headpin. So far, he's been able to manage the transition and the moves. What is this going to do, and how is it going to affect Matt McNeil's ball reaction?
Yep.
That's key in this next match. Then, whoever wins has got to take on the greatest player on the planet.
Right.
And I don't think Jason Belmonte is going to have a problem hitting the pocket.
Matt McNeil, you see him taking his seat right now, has never won on the tour. He is your 2 seed, and he's got Jakob Butturff, who's now won 2 matches, and he's won those 2 matches with similar score lines, a 236 and a 235. Butturff will start us off on the left lane, which has held up so far. Great start for Butturff.
Yep. Matt McNeil got choice of starting lane. He chose to let Jakob start the match, which means that Matt McNeil will finish this match on the left lane.
McNeil, 5th year on the tour, joined in June of 2015. He's 33 years old, has never won on the tour.
We'll take a look at his form, Rob, and pretty soft hand at the bottom, not a lot of moving parts. relies on feel, touch, and accuracy.
This guy has loved this sport since the age of 3, and for more on McNeil, we go downstairs to Kimberly.
Yeah, Rob, so I asked Matt what being in the show meant to him, and he said it's a dream come true. And he said, when I was a kid, I used to bowl juniors every Saturday morning, then come right home and set my Fisher-Pricer bowling setup in front of the TV and watch legends like Marshall Holman and Mark Roth. And tonight, while Matt is living out his dream, he's doing so in front of his hero he used to watch on TV as a kid, because Marshall Holman is in attendance this evening.
Strike from McNeil.
A lucky strike. Did you see how long that ball went? It actually got down in front of the 1-2 pocket and never turned over. And that's the carry down created by Jakob Butturff. Watch this. Looks like a pretty good shot, and it needs to start going right, and it just bailed.
He was telling us earlier this week, Randy, he's dreamed about this moment since he was a 3-year-old. Kimberly mentioned setting up the Fisher-Price bowling set, but he would bowl while he's watching it on TV, trying to replicate those stars from the 80s. Butturff leaves the 7. And he's kind of a part-timer on the tour. We'll get more into his fascinating story in a second. And we've got a picture of a young Matt McNeil that, at a minimum, you're going to stick around and want to see this.
Oh, yeah, and I know this picture quite well.
Butturff takes care of that one. So in match 3, he goes strike spare.
Shots here.
Butturff's childhood bowling hero, another lefty, Parker Bone III. Yeah, sure was. Really nice looking shot. So McNeil pops back up. Boy, this McNeil kid, he's had quite a life already.
Yeah.
Right? You know, he graduated from high school, loved bowling, didn't know what to do, kind of became a bowling junkie, became a lane man, worked at 2 bowling centers, and then he got interested in law enforcement. Strike for McNeil. So he spent 10 years as a reserve police officer for the city of Eden Prairie.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. I now remember this guy. He actually hit me with a taser. I was running a poker game at a retirement home. They accused me of cheating, right? Well, a ruckus breaks out. They call this guy.
This guy?
Yeah, apparently I was being unruly. He tases me.
And then the frosted tips, by the way, right? We can all relate to the frosted tips. It's so
I remember
in our life. No, it's fantastic. And the beauty is he's looking at this right now. We have a huge screen. And, yeah, the crowd is reacting. Hey, Matt, you did this to yourself, pal. You texted me that picture.
You should have never done that.
Hey, put it in wrong hands.
Listen, if there's one thing I know, you do not give Rob Stone any ammunition.
So after those 10 years at the reserve police officer, he went into coaching and then he went back to school, get his master's. 2 years. He bowled at Wichita State, got his master's in criminal justice there. And then he got back into bowling after working at Target Corporation for a long time, a native of the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. And right now, he just got a brand new job in January as a global brand ambassador for Storm. He says, it's nice that I don't have to rep this week. Much rather be bowling. And here he is bowling for his first tour title and a major to boot, but he leaves the 7-pin.
Wow, that was a great shot by Matt. You know, he is quite the PBA historian as well.
Yes, he is.
I mean, he could tell you who won what event in 2009 in December, what ball they used. He's got almost a scary, beautiful mind, if you will, when it comes to the PBA. That was a great shot he just threw there, Rob, for that ring in 7.
This is a guy who bowled all of one event last season. And he's had great success as an amateur. 3-time USBC Open Championships, all events champion, the largest amateur tournament in the world. He will be in Las Vegas next week for the Masters. He's got a 9-pin lead right now on Butturff. 7-10.
Rut-row, Raggy. It has been made a couple of times this week at the World Series, but this is a terrible break as Jakob is working on a strike, and he leaves both the 7 and the 10.
Only been made 3 times on television.
The last 2 being made by left-handers. John Mazza, Jess Stayrook, both lefties. Just saying.
You know who knew that? Matt McNeil knew that too.
Yeah, he knew that.
And McNeil's lead now grows to 21. Jason Belmonte, your 1 seed. Waiting to see who he'll take on in the title match of the PBA World Championship. Come on.
Just trust it, Jacob.
Just coming in a little soft into the pocket the last 2 have. Just lazy little 5 going over and sniffing on the 10, but not taking it out.
Hurls that one in. And he'll take a seat. Matt McNeil pops up. Talked about how strong his mental game was this week. Kept telling himself, repeat the process. Repeat the process. Jason Belmonte, your 1 seed. Coming up next, he's chasing history, looking to be the first to win 11 major titles on the PBA Tour. Come on, come on!
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Giving it right back unless he slides the 6 over.
It's touchy. It's touchy.
How do you attack the 6-7?
Well, I'm going to show you, Rob. He's going to try to get his bowling ball over to the right side of the 6 and then throw that 6 over into the 7.
Converted just 3% of the time on the tour.
Bad timing. What's once a 21-pin lead is now 8.
Off the open frame, let's see how McNeil handles the 6th. Southpaw.
Good break there.
Happy to see the 10 go into the pit.
Yeah, no doubt. Front part of the lane on the left side is getting goofy because of the urethane being used by Jakob. A lot of surface. It roughs up the front part of the lane. Any mistake by Matt McNeil with release, the ball's going to read that part of the lane early. And that time it did, and it went high.
So a spare after that open frame.
Let's not forget, on Monday, Matt McNeil finished 4th in Cheetah.
Matt McNeil trying to get to the title match versus Jason Belmonte. The conclusion of our semifinal next on FS1. Hail the tape. Belmo, your 1 seed. Butturff, your 4 seed. Jakob has never won a major. Does have 5 titles, including 1 this season. Jason's already won twice this campaign, including a major. Butturff fan in attendance. Like that t-shirt, by the way. Available over on PBA.com. Handshake between the 2.
Butturff has never won a major, but he's led back-to-back U.S. Opens, only to finish 2nd. Both times, once in Wichita, Kansas, and the other in Liverpool, New York. Down the lane and attacking 10 pins.
He's calm. The crowd is ready to explode. Let's see what Butturff has.
Interesting start. Now, Jason Belmonte chose to finish on the right lane. Last game, Butturff only struck once on the right lane. Jakob gets to finish this match on the left lane. Good cover.
It's the first one I made all week.
That is your no-brainer, hammer tough spare replay.
Shooting the left-handed bucket, you can either throw it straight and hard at the 3-pin, or you can curve it. Jakey curves it and covers it nicely.
That was an exhale moment there. Start off with an open frame against the best on the planet. You've dug yourself an early hole. Still can't get a strike.
Good cover. Now let's see what Belmonte does on the right lane. The tricky lane for the right-handers is Bill O'Neill had just a little bit of trouble getting the 10 out, which eventually cost him his match against Jakob. Billy bowled a great game, 226, but he needed that first strike in the 10th.
Jacks here in your title match. This place goes deathly silent and then erupts.
You must fear my power, 10-pin.
As my good friend and college basketball analyst Steve Lavin likes to say on numerous great plays, that sums it up. You are watching one of the legends in his absolute prime. Three in a row. Remember, should Belmo roll a 300, a $1 million bonus check courtesy of Fox and the PBA goes into his bank account.
Break there. Remember, he left that 5-6 split where he had to respot the 5, and this time he trips the 5-6 out for his first strike of the title match. Watch it. 5-6 is up. 6 gets the tap on the shoulder and falls forward.
See his numbers in TV title matches. Leaves the 7.
That's soft 7 on the left lane for Jakob Butturff, failing to double up.
Second time it's left standing here on the left lane. So Belmo perfect through 3. Back in Australia at Nashdale Public School. Arya, Hugo, and the whole class watching.
You guys are awesome.
Jason obviously seeing that image on the large screen right above him. What kind of cheering you think they're doing in Australia right now, huh?
They're going crazy.
As they should.
Wow.
There goes $1 million.
That was pretty good, too. Hard to believe with that much power that you could leave a flat 10, but Belmonte does it on this shot. I'm kind of impressed that he was able to pry it off that well after seeing the image of his children at the school watching. 20-pin lead after 4, Rob.
And he goes through his normal routine.
You couldn't have asked for a better title match. Jakob Butturff, who started off the season red hot, then Jason Belmonte and what he's done in the majors, lefty versus righty, as he uses his high road pearl and looking for his 4th strike. What do you think, Rob? Any good?
You're watching the best, and it's not often you get to say that in sporting.
Yeah.
You know, in the NFL, we've been fortunate. You're watching Tom Brady. Everybody's calling him the GOAT.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods, not too long ago. We got to see it. Michael Jordan, going back further, we got to see it. You are seeing it right now playing out in front of your eyes in Jason Belmonte. He can max at a 2.79. Butturff. Johnny.
Well, he's hanging in there, and he could cut Belmonte's lead to 10 with a strike here in the 6th and get right back in this. He's going to take a re-rack on the left lane. This match far from over.
Left lane has been 9 spare, 9 spare, having left a 7-pin both of those times. What pin is standing again?
To the left.
And he's going to look back at the last couple of shots on this lane, and if it is indeed his undoing, he's going to say, maybe I should have trusted it a little bit more to the left so it would hook up a little bit harder and get that soft 7 out.
Oh, no. It comes back.
Seen it all year, and right now, a single pin whiff couldn't have happened at a worse time for Jakob Butturff.
He's got to collect himself because Jace is on the verge of starting to run away with this one.
And this is where Jason Belmonte is looking to go bang, bang, 6th and 7th.
As he runs towards history.
Same thing we saw with Bill O'Neill on that right lane. It pushes just a little bit longer down the lane before it comes around the corner, gets behind the head pin, and leaves that soft 10. Now, you don't want to duplicate what Butturff did. Concentrate, focus, make the 10 pin, move on.
And he does.
This is where you cannot start looking ahead. You have to stay in the moment and trust your technique, trust your focus, trust your routine. Routine is what will always save you and save you from the nerves.
And he's going through his pre-shot routine. And this place just shuts down.
Boom goes the dynamite.
That was glorious.
He can throw urethane. He can hook the entire lane. He can loft it halfway down the lane. He can throw it straight up first arrow. He can do just about anything you have to do to get to the pocket. And then when you add that much speed and power, yeah, good shot, Jakey. Come on, make it a game. He's got to figure out a way to strike on the left lane.
3 strikes in this title match, but all 3 have come on the right lane. He now shifts his business to the left. Last time he was there, he missed the 7-pin. An open frame in the 6th. Here he is to start the 8th, down 32. Jason Belmonte just 3 frames away from his historic 11th major title.
All right. 22-pin lead.
I'm not sure he was buying that one at release. He went down almost to all 4s.
Keep digging.
But finally gets that elusive strike on the left lane. Jason Belmonte, again, 10 major titles. So he's got a pair there. He's tied right now for the most in PBA history. So, Randy, you've been around the sport for decades. You see this list and you see Belmo about to jump Weber and Anthony. What does that say to you?
I mean, I got to quote Norm Duke, and Norm said that Jason Belmonte is the greatest bowler that's ever lived. And, I mean, coming from Norm Duke, it's pretty strong. There's huge arguments there, 2 different eras, you know, with Earl and Walter Ray and now Belmonte and what he's doing. But I got to tell you, this is Belmo's 11th season. He's about to win his 11th major.
And he's never been in trouble tonight.
Oh, he's just...
It's all single pin spares.
He's massacred the pocket every shot. He's left 3 soft 10s. He needs to convert here and just good count. Actually, I'm sorry. He needs to convert here. Jakob Butturff can still shoot 227. With a spare here, Jason Belmonte would need to fill 20 in the 10th frame for 228. It's not over, but it's looking pretty good for Belmonte. Remember at the Players' Championship, he needed a couple hits in the 10th. He had already left that one ring 10 with the 7-pin, ends up a pocket 7-10, leaves it again in the 10th frame. That ultimately cost him that major.
Butturff working on a double.
Must strike.
Make it a triple.
Not that time.
It's 21.
Steers it down. Not without a fight. Not without a fight.
Again, 227 max for Jakob Butturff. 238 max for Jason Belmonte. Big shot here. Biggest shot of his career, looking for his first major victory.
A major ham bone.
He's a gutsy kid. He's not afraid of anything. And he knows how to strike. And at least for the time being has figured out a way to get the 7-pin out on the left lane. One more gets him into the 220s.
He's got 2 more shots.
If he strikes out, he will force Belmonte to strike first ball in the 10th. You heard him say it, make him earn it. Count, very important now, Rob. If he strikes, it's a 1-pin match. If he doesn't strike, that gives Belmonte a little wiggle room. Last 5 in a row for Jakob Butturff, written off after he whipped the 7-pin in the 6th. Remember that frame.
in a row to close. He's got a 227. He sits down. The legend steps up.
Belmonte strikes spare to win by 1. If he doesn't strike on this ball, if he goes 9 spare strike, we'll have a tie. It's been here before. Not one single emotion came out of that man's body after that shot. He needs a strike or a spare for history.
Aria, Hugo, back home in New South Wales. Stand up. Get ready to cheer on Dad. Take it in. You're watching history live on FS1. Kimberly, Aria, Hugo, Sylvie. Daddy did it. Daddy did good.
Amazing guy. Just an incredibly talented human being. Unbelievable. 11th career major in his 11th season.
Great game, Jacob. Great game.
On the PBA Tour.
Great week. Super proud. Thank you.
The first to win 3 titles
I don't know what to say, guys.
this year. 2 of them majors.
Touchdown, coming home with a World Championship trophy. I'm going to show you all in class, I promise. I love you, Ari, Hugo, Sylvie, Kimberly, Mum, Dad, Beck, James, Amila, and Samson. Thank you, Bill and Barbara Chrisman. Storm.
Your winning shot.
Second one in the 10th just absolutely shreds the rack.
Ozzy! Oi, oi, oi! Oi, oi, oi!
You guys should be down here. It is absolutely electrifying. Right now I'm joined by Tom Clark, the Commissioner and CEO of the PBA, for the trophy presentation.
First of all, I just got to say that bowling is the greatest sport that has ever been invented. And these guys just proved it again. It's incredibly exciting. And this young man right here is proving week after week that he may be the greatest bowler that we've ever seen. And it's incredible. This was the greatest World Series that we've ever had. The Earl Anthony Trophy for the 2nd consecutive year. Jason Belmonte, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, Jason, I don't even know where to start with this. This crowd absolutely loves you. But you know what? You have made personal history in the past. You've hit milestones. You've shared with other people and other players. But today, you make history. You set the bar. 11 majors. What does that mean to you?
Very seldomly am I lost for words. Tonight is one of those moments where if I could express in English what is feeling right now inside, it wouldn't make any sense to anyone. I'm just so thrilled. I'm so honored to pass 2 of the greatest players, if not the greatest players of all time, Earl and Pete Weber. It is truly an honor to have my name above those 2 players.
So you have officially set the bar. So what is next?
I really want to just enjoy this, but there's still this little voice in the back of my head that says, I'm not done. I want more. But I'm going to let myself just enjoy the moment right now and thank everybody here in Detroit. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Bill and Barbara Crispin from Storm. I've won all of my championships with Storm bowling equipment, and I couldn't be more proud to have them associated with me.
I know that you love seeing all these people here rooting for you, but let's take a look at the monitor up here, because if I'm not mistaken, we have some people in Australia watching you live. Oh, there they are! Put into words what it means to have your kids and your town, your hometown, watching you right now make history.
It's very emotional. I miss them dearly, and I wish they would sit in front row. Thank you, Mrs. Tomedy from Nashdale, for hooking up the big screen. I love you guys very much. That's really all I can say. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Jason Belmonte, congratulations on making history, your 11th major win.
236 to 227. That's what history looks and sounds like. The best ever. Jason Belmonte. Detroit Rock City did you proud.
Thanks.
And he's got another major in his sights in just days.
Thank you, Detroit!
Oh, the new Motor City Madman, Jason Belmonte in the crowd, celebrating his historic 11th major title on the PBA Tour.
Thanks.
And he heads to Vegas, and Randy, odds are he's going to be your favorite to win his 12th major.
Yeah, it's a good bet.
Let's go.
The Masters, Monday, April 1st, coming your way live on FS1. But tomorrow, more from the World Series of Bowling, and Jason Belmonte will be in action there as well. USA versus the world. Coverage begins 8 Eastern on FS1, also streaming on the Fox Sports app. The GOAT got number 11. It's been in the sights for years, and finally, he passes legends and stands all alone atop the major list. To this season, 11 for his career. The GOAT has delivered again. Jason Belmonte wins his 11th major title of his career, 21st